Hello. Today I want to talk to you about several issues. The first one I want to talk about is something I recently read. It said that Obama, the creator of Obamacare, says that Romney will take from the poor and give to the rich. Is this any different than from what Obama himself has done with Obamacare? People can't afford health care, so your solution is to fine them and tax them if they don't buy health care. That seems utterly ridiculous to me. Next, I want to talk about the Aurora, Colorado and Shiki shootings. It is a tragedy, and the heart of all America goes out to these victims and their families. But I encourage Congress, Senate, and people alike not to blame guns for the actions of these madmen. You can't blame weapons for what someone chooses to do with them. If you need more proof, just look at the police. Look at all the shootings that they commit and the murders of innocent unarmed people during their no-knock raids, or even like that woman that was recently shot while handcuffed to something, or the guy that was in the back of the police car that supposedly shot himself in the head when he was already handcuffed with his hands behind his back. People do bad things. If you ban guns, if you make it harder to get guns, then the terrorists, the insane people, they're just going to stab you to death. They're going to poison you to death. They're going to find other ways of killing people. It's unfortunate, but it's the world that we live in. There are ways to kill people without guns. Next, I want to go on to the Syrian rebels and Obama supporting them. It has been shown that Al-Qaeda is working with the Syrian rebels. Now, if Al-Qaeda is working with the Syrian rebels, and we're supplying the Syrian rebels with weapons and money and training, then aren't the American government and the American people funding and aiding the terrorists? Next is the internet privacy laws. I just want to say on this that you cannot censor the internet. That is something that China does. We are not a dictatorship. We created the internet to advance learning and communication. If you are going around shutting people's websites down because you claim that they have violated copyright laws, then you need to do it through civil means, not criminal and not executive orders. And another thing is requesting people's Twitter accounts information and their YouTube and their Google searches and just watching every move that people make. It's unconstitutional and it's un-American. Next, I want to talk about private consultant senators. Senators that take bribes from corporations and special interest groups, then sell their votes and buy other votes. That is not what the Congress is meant to do. That is not the American system. That is not your job, and it should be made illegal, and you should be tried as a traitor and hung by your neck. Next, I want to go to a bill that recently came up before the House and the Senate. It was the modified food bill, where if passed, it would force states to put a label on any food that was genetically engineered. How many of you voted against that? I can't understand your reasoning there. People should have the right to choose with what food they put in their body, and they should also know where their food comes from and what is in it. A vote against that is clearly a vote bought and paid for by a special interest group trying to sell their product and make money off of the American people, and you should be ashamed of yourself, senators and congressmen. Next is I want to talk about is prisons in America. Our prisons are not designed to rehabilitate the criminals. You just take minor criminals, put them in there with hard, convicted lifers and 20 plus year people that are going to be in there for 20 years or more, and they're going to find new ways to commit crimes without getting caught, or how to be more brutal because you have to be brutal in prison to survive. Next, I want to talk about America's drug laws. I believe America's drug laws should be a lot like Portugal. In Portugal, you can have drugs and it's not criminalized. Now, if you get caught smuggling those drugs into Portugal, then you're getting in some trouble. But what they do is they try to promote rehab, and it's worked. Their drug rates have gone down. It hasn't turned it into a drug paradise. But instead, America is so anti-drug from propaganda shoved down our faces, and violent crack addicts and meth heads who have probably been in prison or been raised in this thug mentality that they no longer care about fucking prison. But for the American people, their solution is lock them up for 20 years for making meth. Oh, lock them up for 5 years for multiple pot violations. Give them felonies so they can't get jobs, so then they turn to crime to make money. It's ridiculous and it's stupid. We're just spending billions of dollars on it, and it doesn't make any fucking sense, and we need a total drug law reform. Next, I want to speak about education. American education system is weak and pitiful. Not only do we have such a wide gap in what we're teaching students. For example, a class in, say, Newton, Kansas is probably about 2 years behind from a class in Center, Texas on what they're studying. Not to mention that people in Kansas aren't even taught the theory of evolution. If you're gonna teach people things, it needs to be all across the country, all at once, a standardized education. And no child left behind is just ridiculous. So you're gonna punish a whole school because a small percent of the children aren't performing well. What if that child is a dumbass? What if that child doesn't want to learn, doesn't care, and is disrespectful little shit? Let him suffer for it. That is his problem. Next, I want to go on to something that Hillary Clinton had said about Egypt during the revolution. She said that Egypt's government was breaking the law and was being unjust by putting down its rebellion. And then she went on to say that they had lost any legitimacy of being a ruling country or a ruling government. Well, aren't you doing the same thing with the Occupy Wall Street movement? Aren't you sending in NSA and having meetings with large city mayors on ways to crack down on them? Now, legislation like the anti-protest bill makes it illegal to protest. Aren't you cracking down on them? What is our constitutional right to be able to do? Doesn't that destroy your legitimacy? When Eric Holder is breaking the law, lying to Congress under oath, and is being found in contempt of contempt of Congress, haven't you lost all legitimacy? When Obama is caught in 7 lies in 3 minutes, isn't he breaking his oath? Isn't he breaking the legitimacy of the office of president? My fellow Americans, it is my firm belief that we can no longer sit back and pray and hope that we will finally change our system. Our system is behind on so many fronts that it is unsavable. It is corrupt and hollow to its very core, and it needs nothing less than a full revolution to bring it back to its former glory. Next, I want to talk about the UN Small Arms Treaty. I think America should be taken out of the UN. I don't think we should have any agreement like the Small Arms Treaty or the TPP, which infringes on the American Constitution. In the American Constitution, it is put in there that Americans are able and it is their right to keep and bear arms. It doesn't say, oh, as long as we don't sign a treaty with an international committee. No treaty that we sign should supersede or overrule the United States Constitution. And if this passes and we accept it, then the people should be outraged. They should take their guns and rise up. Next, I want to talk about the Justice Department and their use of drones over America. You have no business flying military drones, spying on American civilians who are just going about their everyday lives. You want to use those drones? Why don't you put them on the border and keep the Mexican cartels from smuggling guns and drugs into America? Oh wait, because you're supplying them with the fucking guns.